When the fasting day ends, even the resident recluse emerges by the date box. The adhan, our victory anthem, calls to prayer and a plate full of rice. Water tastes suddenly magical, and Maghrib relief tastes best when we share it. There is nothing as exhausting and beautiful as a day in Ramadan. Fasting from fighting, swallowing your pride, holding your tongue, overeating on something deep fried and sleep swaying through Tarawih. Even though it's hard, those late nights, those potluck and prayer nights, those come round mine will break fast together nights, watching the moon and making dua that Allah gets us through are just too sweet to miss. I'm going to share two more poems. The next one, the next one is called Circles, and I wrote this actually in a workshop with our dear Rakaya, and it was during Dhul Hijjah, so we were thinking about how you can partake in pilgrimage when you are not in Mecca. There is a masjid right here under my skin. When I peel my throat away to see what is closer to me than my breath, I find the source of all energy, the ever-living light. How do you journey to Allah when Allah is this near, right here underneath my skin? What is tawaf but circles, walking back into the current that pushed you to begin? What is sa'i but returning, running repetition back down through the lows you once escaped? There is no greener destination. Allah is right here, in the movement, in the running, in the realizing for a split second of bliss that this living is a masjid on a holy day. And I've got a last one. So I wrote this poem a few years ago for the Ashton award ceremony. So they give awards to people who are doing great things in the climate effort to increase sustainability and to fight climate change. And so I was asked to write something like really hopeful, which sometimes feels a bit fake with this topic. So I always feel a bit cringe when like I thought some bits in the poem, but I also feel like Islam is such a hopeful religion. We're meant to look in the face of despair and still keep planting our seeds, still have hope, still have trust in Allah. So I also feel like it's fitting. So close your eyes. Today we're giving the future wings. No more clipping at the shoulder blades, heads turned, ignoring climate change. Now each of us must find that green new hope growing inside. That lush ambition, that rush to listen to the voice securing dreams like feathers along the frame of our new day. In London, sometimes we see snapshots of so much that we see nothing at all. Sometimes we move too fast to think about it. Sometimes it takes unbearable heat, a taste of summers to come, houses and markets aflame for us to even call it by its name. But when I talk to my friends about home, Isra speaks of her family's open doors in El Ubaid and Khartoum, sitting around one huge dish, half full on food, half on stories and laughter. Sittle Shay ladies outside serving sweet coffee and warm conversation. The song, faith and smiles, full Madamas mornings and the lapping of the Nile. But the results of our ill climate mean she's seen some Sudanese homes were washed away by violent rain, flooding the grounds they used to pray, where they planted their crops, where they loved and lost so many, always rising to rebuild in the morning. When Mario speaks of home, it is the open arms of people. Dame Vinda, bearer welcomes all with soft white sands fine as flour. His father can point out a new kind of fish near their shore for every day of the year. In their often neglected but vibrant city, sun golden as the mangoes, mangoes rich as the acacia trees, trees as wide as the hearts of the people. But they've seen what happens when home is torn away, gutted by a cyclone that lasted for days, thrashing dark winds over the brightest lands in Mozambique, turning all the lights out, only the corn kernels of devastation left to eat. He wants better for his city that hardly left a carbon footprint, but still shakes from the stamping of Western boots. Zina tells me about Iraq, where climate change is on the tongue of every grandmother and taxi driver. There is no way to ignore what has stolen crops from the ground and food from their plates. When I speak to Juwaria, she is fundraising for Pakistan, for Puerto Rico, for Nigeria, Bangladesh, where people have long lived in emergency, birthed children and waded in it, chin deep in crisis, the surface shimmering like oil on a polluted sea. The pedestals of place, possession or privilege kept us dry, gave us time to overlook their poverty, placelessness, persecution. A height that let us call it someone else's fight, someone else's ocean. Even when it glimmered by our sides, even when it thrashed and roared for our neighbors. The time to act is now. The moment is an open sky. So close your eyes. Together, today we are giving the future wings. It's rising and equipped with all the important things we know and are ready to learn about this rich and wonderful earth that is worth all our best aspirations. There will be no more clipping at the shoulder blades, heads turned, ignoring climate change. Now each of us must find that green new hope growing inside. Let it free from your throat. Let it stream from your eyes as our future takes off. Watch it fly.